At the end of Stranger Things Season 1, Will Byers emerged from the Upside Down, alive and seemingly unharmed. But then something happened. Will came back wrong. Coming back wrong happens when a person changes, either physically or emotionally, after they return from the other side. Normally it's resurrection from death, although in Will's case it's more from a Lovecraftian demon dimension. This is actually a pretty new phenomenon in fiction, only a couple centuries old. And that's because, for most of human history, we've seen resurrection as a good thing. The myth of Osiris, most of the Greek heroes, the stories of Jesus Christ and Lazarus, they're all about how coming back from the dead is pretty awesome. 'Cause hey, you get an extra life. So what changed? Science. As medicine advanced, death was more easily understood, detected, and sometimes even prevented. So when things went wrong, it became cause for alarm. Like in 1661, a man named Lawrence Cawthorne died while trying to escape his coffin. Turns out, he wasn't completely dead when he was buried. And about a decade later, it happened again to someone else. These events, along with the rise of modern medicine, helped spawn paranoia about wrongful burial, which lasted for centuries. George Washington, Chopin, and Hans Christian Andersen were all terrified of it. It got so bad that during the Victorian era, people began paying for coffins with safety latches, bells, or even fireworks, just in case they weren't actually dead when they were buried, or if they happened to come back to life. It was also around this time that the resurrection myth was corrupted, as people began fearing it instead of celebrating it. The Brothers Grimm shared the German fairy tale The Three Snake Leaves, in which a prince resurrects his princess, only for her to kill him and run off with the ship captain. Modern medicine inspired stories like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and H.P. Lovecraft's Herbert West Reanimator, both about doctors creating living abominations out of dead body parts. And of course, Edgar Allan Poe had not one, not two, but 3 different stories about being buried alive. Even the Lazarus legend was torn apart. 19th century Russian author Leonid Andreyev wrote a short story that showed how the resurrection of this biblical figure actually made him into something evil. A couple hundred years later, we got DC's Lazarus Pit, which messed up everyone it touched, including Sarah Lance, the White Canary. Nowadays, it's a lot more common for characters to come back wrong instead of coming back right. There's DC's Jason Todd, Lady Stoneheart from A Song of Ice and Fire, Jean Grey into the Dark Phoenix in Marvel's X-Men, and now Will Byers in Stranger Things. And it's all thanks to science and paranoia, which taught us resurrection isn't a blessing, it's more likely a curse.